What's up, everybody? Durkey Turkey here, and I've got something new for you today. We're gonna go over every single Tang Gang token on this chart. Yeah. We're gonna go over every single one of them. I'm not looking at the updated version of it. I just took the picture because I'm lazy. So if I miss some of you guys, just let me know down in the comments. I'll make sure to look at them. Maybe I'll cover them in a future video. Anyway, I'm just going to get right fucking into it. Let's go. So the first one I'm going to be looking at is HOA. HOA is what Sami likes to call the spear. Like, this is the head of everything, okay? This is literally... like, this is the driving force behind all the Tang Gang tokens, as you're going to see in this video, and as I was looking through a lot of these LPs for a lot of these different tokens, because goddamn, there's a fucking lot of them. And most of them are paired to HOA, like, they're heavily paired to HOA, which is not a bad thing. That means if HOA does very well, they should do very well. So the only thing that I want to see with some of those tokens is now that you're paired to HOA and you have a token with low liquidity, start pairing that low liquidity token to other low liquidity pair or low liquidity markets that are tokens that are forked over from the fork from when pulsechain was created. Start doing that. You know, start getting some of these markets moving, like, you know, Too Spooky has been working on. Other than that, HOA, it's got really thick liquidity, and everything is bonded to it. So there's not much to really say about HOA other than it is the driving force behind the Tang Gang. HOA holders, 7,293. Guys are almost at 7,300. Doing pretty good. Let's see if we can bump that. We got to get 10,000 holders in this bitch. Let's fucking go. Next price chart is chiitan. Now I have the chiitan to wrapped pulse. By the way, all of these are going to be compared to wrapped pulse, okay? And I'll be talking about their other LPs as well. But with chiitan, you see in pulse, it has over time gone up. It's done very well. The liquidity is about $50,000 for wrapped pulse. It's about $12,000 worth of volume. And there's some traders going through it. But the main thing that's interesting about chiitan isn't necessarily its LP2 wrapped pulse. What makes it interesting is its its pair to HOA. Chiitan's pairings to HOA, you got 155,000 to HOA here, you got 102,000 HOA here, you got 84,000 here, and I'm guessing these are just different fee tiers. These are just like, my guess is it's like, this is maybe like the 2% fee tier, this is 1, this is like 0.5% fee tier. That's what I'm guessing these are, but actually I honestly don't know. If you understand that better than I, let me know. But there is so much liquidity bonded to HOA that HOA is the driving force behind chiitan. If HOA goes up, chiitan will go up with it. And if you look at the holders, you got 1,027 holders. So you guys just broke 1,000 holders recently, so congratulations. Now, we obviously cannot have a Tang Gang video about all the Tang Gang tokens without covering my personal favorite, Dick with Butt. Now, Dick with Butt, if you see here, it looks like it's gone up and past this. There was a guy that was messaging me on Twitter. I think it was Moose, Muss or whatever, Bruss, or I forget your name sometimes. He was drawing these triangles and stuff. I'll draw them in real quick just to kind of shout it out. So yeah, you know, it looks like we could be sitting in a range right here. I just don't like to draw these kind of triangles because we could absolutely fall or jump way above these triangles at any moment. Like, we're in a range, sure, but the market is too volatile for me to want to say this is going to be exactly where we're going to sit. It's too... there's too many variables. But yeah, we are kind of sitting in that range. And could we bounce up? Yeah, absolutely. Could we fall down below this range? Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think we're either going to chop here or we're going to go up. And these lines here, that absolutely supports, you know, the theory of, yeah, hey, we could totally go up. Now, looking at the holders for Dick with Butt last video, or the video before that, I forget which one, I was saying we were approaching 5,000 holders. We're almost at that. We'll probably hit 5,000 holders with Dick with Butt tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be posting about that if I see that. And of course, I think liquidity-wise, the most interesting thing about Dick with Butt is its CRO pairing. It's got $1.1 million bonded to CRO. If you're buying Dick with Butt, you're supporting pumping CRO, so that way it gets us noticed by an exchange. That's why I like Dick with Butt. That's because it's not only, it's funny, I think it's the better meme out of anything out there. It's working towards getting us an exchange listing. That's interesting to me. That's cool. That's where I'm like, hell yeah, dude, let's fucking go. Let's get these other tokens to start doing what Dick with Butt is doing. Let's fucking send it up. Now, here I have Nana. Of course, I'm wearing my Nana hat. Now, Nana, it's got about $37,000 of liquidity. It's got about, you know, 41,000 in volume. And actually, sorry, I wasn't looking at the correct, the most liquid pair for Wrap Pulse. It looks like it's this one here at 64,000 with $16,000 worth of volume. I think I picked this one because this one has more volume going through it, but I don't know. Anyway, it has a large pairing with HOA. And the most interesting thing about it is it's got this like $500,000 worth of like LP in cream, which I showed in the last video. Like cream and CRO are like the main tokens that are forks that the Tang Gang is very heavily associated with. So if you're buying Nana, you're probably helping support the price of cream. And with Nana, you have about 1,826 holders. We're almost at 2,000 holders, guys. Just keep fucking going. Keep holding. Keep buying. Next, we have the Rick Ross pair of Salamanis. The pear token. The pear. The pear boy. So, pear, it had a tumble from the beginning, and I think it's starting to have that recovery back up with the rest of the Tang Gang. I still think that this is an awesome leverage play on HOA if you want to get into HOA. Like, if you don't want to buy HOA at the price that it's at, if you think HOA is too expensive, I'd be buying something like Pear, because Pear has a massive liquidity bonding to HOA. If you see right here, Pear has like almost, well, it's $362,000 in liquidity between HOA and Pear. That's huge, with the largest pulse pair being around 22,000. You're gonna move the market with that HOA. Like, the HOA, if it goes up, that will move the price up very high compared to anything else. Like, Wrap Pulse is not affecting this market. It's HOA. HOA is the driving force behind Pear. So if you want to get into HOA, but you don't want to buy it, you think it's too expensive, Pear is the option for you. And of course, with Pear, you have about 1,160 holders. You guys have broken 1,000 holders. I think you already had broke 1,000 holders when I covered the video last, so congratulations on that still. Here we have two spky or spiky coin. It's done tremendously well. It had a bit of a correction since around April 24th or what? No, 25th. April 25th. It's gone down, but overall, this whole market, if you had got into it maybe around like in this area, let's even measure it from the bottom. I mean, you made technically 11,000%. That's insane. So, very good coin. It doesn't have a lot of volume. It doesn't have a lot of liquidity though. So even if you put like $10,000 into this and you made, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, there's no liquidity really to support that. But there's opportunity in LPing for it. So if you made a lot of money on it, why not use it to pair Spooky to something else? So Spooky, it does have an okay amount paired to HOA, but its main pairings are to Pulsechain from what I see. If there's another pair out there, I'm not seeing it, guys. So if there is another pair, let me know down in the comments below. But I think that Spooky has done tremendously well price-wise, regardless. So that just goes to show, I mean, I like the fact that a lot of this stuff is paired. Like, I prefer the things that are paired to HOA, and I prefer the things that have these really wacky, weird pairings to them. But they don't necessarily always need to be paired to that. They can do just fine being paired to Rat Pulse. It's just, it makes them less interesting. But even regardless, you still have that massive price run up anyway. So it doesn't matter. As long as there's people buying it, it's fine. And then with 2 Spooky holders, you have about 559. So this is a very low, like, there's not many people in on this. You could be very early in on this if you wanted to. Yeah, it's low holders, low market cap, low liquidity. It's a small market. There's not a whole lot to say about 2 Spooky other than it had a huge run up. Here we have Fruit. Fruit, again, low liquidity, low volume, and the most interesting thing about Fruit is it has an LP to another token in the Tang Gang. That LP is Rat. It has $801,000 bonded in liquidity to Rat. Okay? Rat is another one that I'll be covering next. And pretty much Fruit, it's mostly tied to Wrapped Pulse, but it's also got some chiitan, it's got some HOA, it's got some bonding to Dick with Butt. Basically, if the whole HOA system goes up, it should go up with it. I don't know if it'll go up as hard as a lot of this other stuff, but it should follow it regardless. And that should also bring the price of Rat up, which I will cover next. And of course, with the holders with Rat, you have about 410 holders, so very early in on that. Now Rat, like I was saying with the LP before, it's tied to Fruit really heavily, but it's got really low liquidity. It's got $4.4 thousand in liquidity, $1.3 thousand in volume. That is fucking nothing. There's nothing stopping this from like a huge buy just sending this fucking token to the moon. Like, you could put in like a small buy order and it affects the price. So very easy to move this market. And with Rat, you have only about 243 holders, so it's not a large market. There's not a lot of people holding it. But, you know, that Fruit to Rat pair, that is interesting to me. Next, we have Cookies. Cookies has $21,000 in liquidity, about $4.4 thousand in volume in this Rat Pulse pair. Now, the thing with Cookies is, like most of these coins, as you're going to find out, like I've been saying, or I said in the beginning, it's bonded heavily to HOA. It's got about $369,000 in liquidity bonded to HOA. Now, that's a huge fucking pool. It's also got a decent pool with Cream. It's a larger pool with Cream than it is with its Wrapped Pulse pair. And Cream, like I said, it's one of the few tokens that was forked over that was heavily influenced by the Tang Gang. So, Cookie holders, you got about 692. You're almost at 700 holders, guys. So let's see if we can break 1,000 holders for Cookies. Next, we have Puff, or the Power Puff Girls. Power Puff Girls. It's got about $10,000 worth of liquidity, $2.3 thousand worth of volume. Now, Puff has a lot of weird LPs, and it's so small that it's kind of hard to find some of these LPs between all this stuff. But what I noticed is that it's really heavily paired to Cookies as well. So its Cookie LP is larger than its Wrapped Pulse LP, so if Cookies does very well, Puff should do very well. So it's like Puff is this weird leverage play on Cookies, I guess you could say. And Puff, it's a small market. It's got about $273,000, or not, 273 holders. Fuck. Next, we have TNT, Tang Network TV. I've covered this one before in the past. $13,000 of liquidity to its main Wrapped Pulse pair. It's got about $2,000 worth of volume. Got some trades going through. it's decently active. It's not super active, but it's decently active. And, you know, it was one of those coins where it started and then it went down in price. And since this bottom price, where I'm sure most people were probably able to finally get in, it's gone up a little bit since then. So most people in TNT, I think, are still above water. The main thing about TNT, though, that I've noticed is it's not really paired to any of the Tangang tokens. It's only got $530 paired to HOA. I feel like that's almost like a missed opportunity. That's like an opportunity sitting there waiting to happen. Like, that's... Why aren't more people in on that? Or this one. You know, or Dick with Butt. You have $28 in liquidity with Dick with Butt. What the fuck are you doing, guys? No, actually, there is one coin that it's tied to, and I will cover it eventually in this video. I just haven't covered it yet, and that's Neckbeard coin. That is a Tangang token. It was $6.7 thousand in liquidity bonded to that. It's just not as heavily bonded to it as, you know, it could be. It should be bonded, I feel, more to things like HOA and to Dick with Butt. But regardless, the price is done just fine. So, yeah. And holders for TNT, you got about 537 holders for TNT. So, very early market. A lot of these markets are really fucking small, guys. The next token is called Y. We. Okay, it stands for We Audited It. And so far, it's done pretty well. If we measure that chart from the very bottom all the way to the tippy top, it did about 3,361%. That's not bad. I mean, of course, there's not a lot of liquidity. There's not a lot of volume. You know, you put $10,000 into it there, and you make 3,361%. There's not enough liquidity to support that. But the thing about We Audited It is that it's mostly paired to HOA. It's got a huge pairing comparatively to HOA. It's got $11,000 in liquidity to HOA. So its price chart is very dependent on HOA. If HOA does very well, this should also do very well. And of course, for the holders, you got only 232 holders. Very small amount. Next, we have Yacht, the Tangent Golden Yacht. Tangent Golden Yacht. It looks like you guys are doing pretty well. You guys are pretty up. If we measure from the bottom to the high, you guys did about almost 600%. Almost 600%. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Only $16,000 of liquidity. Only $1,000 worth of volume. I mean, again, it's a small market. If you're going to put, you know, a large amount of money into it, I don't know if you're going to be able to get it out. But if you put in a small amount of money, sure, you could probably turn $100 into 600. Sure. Now, the thing with Yacht is its main pair appears to be Pulse. I'm not seeing any other pairs, so if there are any other pairs and I'm missing them, I'm sorry, guys. But this is just what I see, you know, just looking at Dex Screener. Like, there's nothing really out there for this token that really makes me, like, super interested in it, other than it's gone up a massive amount. And what I see with this is there's massive opportunity. There's $1.5 thousand of HOA bonded to this coin. Maybe you could throw in some HOA into this and, you know, see if you could, you know, supply liquidity for this token and get the pairing stronger to it to HOA. Get it more tied into the Tangang verse, man. And then, of course, with Yacht holders, you got 585. You're almost at 600, guys, so let's see if we can push it up. Next is OG Incentive. Now, OG Incentive has about $12,000 of liquidity, $2,000 worth of volume. You got some trades going through, kind of slow, not really a whole lot of action going on with it, but still people are trading it. Now, the thing about the OG pairs is that OG is actually more tied to cookies than it is to Pulse, so could it be a leverage play on cookies? Maybe, but, you know, it's mostly tied to cookies. So it's an interesting token, I guess, in that regard, but I don't know. I just want to see more with it as far as the LPs go. And then holders for OG, you got about 1,304. So, you know, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Like, you're doing very well holder wise, price chart wise. I mean, it's not bad. It's not like you're not making like thousands of percent or anything, but you've done very well. You've had some huge run-ups. You've also had some big dips. The next token is Pussy. Now, Pussy had this massive candle, literally, what is that? That was yesterday. Massive candle yesterday, very, very nice. And it looks like there was a correction, and now there's a big buy up again. It looks like someone literally just bought, holy cow, a lot of Pussy. They are buying a lot of Pussy, guys. Lots of Pussy. So that was this green candle right here. This was 10 hours ago. So there's not a lot of volume or not a lot of trading going on for this token. You know, $92,000 worth of liquidity, $8.3 thousand worth of volume. And the thing that I see with it is it's mostly tied to the wrap pulse. It's that $92,000 pair to wrap pulse on 9mm. So, you know, could we get some other stuff tied to it? Sure. I saw that it also had a wrap Bitcoin pair, but it's not interesting to me LP wise. Here is something interesting though about it. I don't know why it's doing this, but when I look up the contract address that I straight up copy paste off of Dex Screener, it brings me to this. I don't know what this is. I don't know enough about some of these coins to where I know what this is or if this is related in any way, shape, or form. If anyone can explain this to me, please do down in the comments below. But when I copy paste the contract address for Pussy, it brings me to this ERC 721 hoax. I don't know if they're related. I don't know what it is. If anyone has any explanation to that, please let me know. But I can't even look at the holders for this one, guys. So, yeah. Next, we have Enigma. Now, I'm guessing this is based off of the Enigma diamond that Richard Hart bought. If you look at the overall chart, whoa, let's not look at that. Let's look at this. Let's zoom way in. Let's do the opposite of what they always tell you to do and zoom out. Let's zoom way in, guys, please. If you measure this recent pump, you guys did pretty well. You get a 257,000 or 257% gain. That's not bad. You've had a little bit of a dip. Maybe you could correct back up. Who knows? But so far, like, this is its largest pair. It's also on V2, guys. So I don't know if you guys want to move over to V3 or what. What's going on with this coin? And as far as everything else, like, there's not anything super interesting with the LP. It's mostly that, I guess the main thing that I notice about the LP for this one is that the majority of your LP is still on V2 9mm. Why aren't you on V3? Like, there's a little bit on V3 that I saw. Where is it? It's got some chit in here. Where's the V3 volume? Here's V2, V2. Here's V3. You got $8.6 thousand worth of volume on V3. Why aren't you guys using V3? That just seems weird to me. Enigma, you got about 686 holders. It's not bad. You guys are approaching 700 holders. Just keep it up, man, I guess. Here we have Bobo. Bobo has done... it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm sure that a good amount of you that bought around this time period are probably still doing okay, but if you bought up here, you're probably down bad. So it's doing its thing. It's got $20,000 worth of liquidity. It's only got $359 worth of volume in the past, 24 hours or so. But I don't think this is its main pair. Let's look at that real quick. Yeah, no, its main pair is to ppap, which was another... There's a few tokens that are paired to ppap pretty heavily. I think Cream and Cookies, they had some pair to ppap, or Cream did or something. I'm not covering Cream in this video because it's technically, even though it's associated with the Tang Gang, it's technically a forked token. It's not a token that was created for pulsechain. But I think that there is a lot of LPers that are part of the Tang Gang that are LPing for ppap, and hey, it's something interesting. It's something going on that's different. The thing is I don't see it paired to Tangang stuff. I see very little Tangang. You got $2,800 worth of HOA bonded. Like, that's not a lot. That's not enough to move your market. Like, your market is not heavily tied to the price of HOA. It's heavily tied to the price of ppap on pulsechain, which that means ppap on pulsechain is going to affect the price of this one a lot, and not so much the Tangang. It's still got a decent amount of holders though, 971. It's doing all right. You're almost at 1,000 holders, so keep it up. Next, we have NBC. NBC, Neckbeard Coin. Neckbeard Coin, you have about $4.6 thousand of liquidity, but $13,000 worth of volume. How the fuck does that work? Anyway. You guys are doing pretty good. You guys got a lot of movement going on through this market. People are buying it and trading it. It's very active for how low the liquidity is. The main thing about Neckbeard Coin that makes it interesting is that it's not necessarily its wrap pulse pair, though. It's heavily tied to HOA. And it's also got a decent pairing to dick with butt. But its largest pair by far is HOA. So HOA is going to have the biggest impact on it, as with most of these coins. And with Neckbeard Coin, you have 323 holders. So you're doing pretty good. Let's see if we can get to like maybe 500 or so, and then from there reach about 1,000. Next, we have NBA, Never Broke Again. Never Broke Again, liquidity-wise, $4.5 thousand, $1.5 thousand worth of volume. You're having a little bit of trading going through. It's pretty decent, steady enough for how low the liquidity is on this pair. But again, as always, this is just your wrapped pulse pairs, your main wrapped pulse pairs that I'm finding, like your most used wrapped pulse pairs. And the thing is, your most used pair is on Pulse X, but you're considered a Tangang token? Why aren't you using 9mm? I mean, I'm not knocking Pulse X. If you want to go ahead and use Pulse X because that's what's working best for you, that's fine. Go ahead, but I don't know why you're using that. Now, of course, the main thing that's most interesting about NBA is its pairing to HOA. It's 4 times the size of its pair to wrap pulse, so obviously HOA is going to move that market. And holders wise, you have 542 holders, so pretty good. Let's see if we can get 1,000 for that. Next, we have New World Orange. I like what you did with the logo here. It looks like NWA. So with this, you have $4.7 thousand worth of liquidity, $896 worth of volume. Pretty good, not amazing. It's a low market. It's a small market, guys. And of course, as always, its main pair is to HOA. It's literally like, again, 4 times the size, 5 times the size as its wrapped pulse pair. So obviously HOA is going to move this market very aggressively. Like this should move the market more than its wrapped pulse pair. And holders wise for New World Orange, you have 273. So not bad. Let's see if we can get to about 500 for that one. All right, guys, getting to one of the favorites from the community, in my opinion, because I see this one on my timeline a lot recently, is Tits with Vag. Tits with Vag had a massive run-up from its beginning. And let's look at that. Let's just see where it is today, how much you are up. Oh, it's not telling me. Anyway, you're up a lot. So, very good. Looks like, oh, you're up about 732%. Not bad. Now, the thing with Tits with Vag that I've pointed out in other videos is LP-wise, I haven't seen anything super interesting. And let me show you. Its main pairs with Tits with Vag is Wrapped Pulse. You have Wrapped Pulse here and you have Wrapped Pulse here. Now, the next biggest is Dick with Butt. Now, that would make the most sense to me since it's technically Dick with Butt's girlfriend. Now, if let's say, because you have like almost $5,000 sitting on V2, you have $4,300 sitting on V2 for 9mm. Take all of that and move that into this LP pair for dick with butt on V3. Like, why are you? I guess you can support V2 if you want. I mean, freedom of transaction, sure. But imagine if everything from this LP right here was 6.3, and everything from with this wrap pulse pair, and everything from this tits with vag to dick with butt pair with $4,300. Imagine if both of these LPs here all moved into this V3 pair for dick with butt. Now you would be almost like a leverage play, on dick with butt. And that would make you a lot more interesting to me. But right now you're too heavily paired to wrap pulse, which isn't bad. You know, that's not a bad thing, but it would just make you more interesting to talk about than just being like, yeah, the price go up, very nice, I like. And tits with vag, 978 holders. You guys are super close to getting 1,000 holders. You'll probably hit 1,000 holders by tomorrow, maybe the next day. Pretty soon here, though. Pretty soon. My guess is it's either going to be earlier today or tomorrow. Next, you have this really weird coin, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. It's gypsy coin or something, and it looks like it had a massive run up in the beginning, a massive dip, and now you guys kind of had a massive run up again. Overall, looks like you guys are doing pretty well. You guys are sitting up. This is your main liquidity pairing for Pulse. Again, you guys are on Pulse X. I don't know why. Sure, I guess. You only have about $360 worth of volume. Your last trade was 18 minutes ago, though, so I guess you have some trades going through. But yeah, 3.1 thousand in liquidity on your wrap pulse pair. Now, the main thing, obviously, that makes it interesting is it's heavily tied to HOA. $73,000 worth of HOA bonded to it, so it's mostly impacted by the HOA price. And for holders, you have 356,000. So, or not 1,000, 356. Wouldn't that be crazy if you guys had 356,000 holders? Yeah. You guys have 356 holders, guys. So, see if you can guys get to, like, 500. And maybe, maybe move your guys' LP from your Pulse X over to 9mm. That's what I would do, because that's where all the Tang Gang stuff is anyway. Next token is Furu. Furu token, $4,000 worth of liquidity, $852 worth of volume. This is just for the wrap pulse pair. Again, you guys are on Pulse X. What are you doing? I mean, I'm not knocking it. You guys can supply LP wherever the hell you want. This is just your guys' main LP pair. Now, liquidity-wise, it's actually kind of weird because you also have liquidity on 9mm, and your main 9mm pair is with dick with butt, and that's $4,500. So it's an insanely small market, but you still, I mean, you're understanding that you need to have that pairing to dick with butt more than you do with wrap pulse, because if you pair it to dick with butt, you'll follow the price chart of dick with butt more closely. So that's interesting that you have that. And then, of course, I mean, you do have a V3 wrap pulse pair, but again, it's $1,800 versus your $4,000 pair here over on Pulse X. It looks like the majority of your market is on Pulse X, unless if you're trading dick to butt or dick with butt for it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not trading my dick with butt for this. Maybe I would give you wrap pulse for it. I would sell my wrap pulse as a leverage play on this for dick with butt. But I don't know. We'll see. Holders wise, though, 1,081 holders. Very nice, guys. Very, very nice. Next one is Honk. Now, Honk had a massive run up. Let's measure that. We'll measure it from the bottom up. You guys did almost a 5,000%. It's about 4,651%. Very nice. Very, very nice. Your trades, it's been 6 hours since your last trade. On this pair specifically. But $8.8 thousand worth of liquidity. You actually have wrap pulse on 9mm V3. 2.2 thousand worth of volume in the last 24 hours. And this is what I found very interesting. I don't know anything about this token, but there's this chia orange. It's not on the Tangang spreadsheet that I copy pasted because I'm not looking at the updated version. So this might be some new Tangang token that I haven't looked into. But chia orange is technically your largest pairing, and it's XCHO. You have $9.5 thousand worth of liquidity bonded to that, so that's cool. And then for honk, you have 263 holders, so not bad. See if you guys get it up to about 500 holders. Next, we have ppap, pineapple pen, or pen, pineapple pen. I feel like that's like a weed joke. I don't know. Anyway. Price chart. It looks like you guys are doing whatever. You're just kind of going up and down. You're making a snake pattern here. This is a very, very new pair, but this is technically your guys' largest pair. So this pair, I think, was created like a day ago. And I think it was because of the V2, or not V2, V3 update for 9mm that allows you to have 2% fees. So I think that's what this pool is. And you got some trades going through, $2.7 thousand worth of volume, $25 thousand worth of liquidity. And the thing is, with this one is you have like 3 liquidity pools total. You have wrapped pulse, another wrapped pulse, and then you have an HOA. So start branching out and providing more LP for this one. Like I don't see anything that, like, you're literally just paired to pulse, like, pretty much. Like, you have some HOA too, but it's not enough to have a massive influence on your market unless if HOA goes wicked high and then becomes your main pair. But I don't know. And holders wise, you have about 750 holders. Not bad. Really not bad. I mean, you guys probably reach about 1,000. Keep it up. Next we have Kino. Now Kino's main pair is on V2 9mm. I would consider moving your guys' LP over to V3, but I don't know. You guys do you, man. You got about $2.9 thousand worth of liquidity, $512 worth of volume. Some trades going through, not a lot, but I guess there's some movement. Technically, its main pair is to HOA, though. It's got about $12 thousand worth of HOA paired to it. HOA, it's literally like 4 or 5 times the size of its pulse pair. So now, again, am I going to trade my HOA for this token? I don't think so. But I will trade you Pulse for it. I'll bridge money over into pulsechain and buy more Pulse to buy more of this token, sure, as a leverage play on HOA. But there's not a lot of liquidity for this wrap Pulse pair either, so I don't know. There's not a lot of liquidity in general for this token. It does seem like it has some of this Mandela coin. I don't know. Some honk, kino to wrap pulse HOA, wrap pulse HOA. I mean, keep providing LP for this one. Create more pools. Make it more interesting. Supply to the pools that currently exist. And holders for that one, 216. So yeah, it's a really small market. There's not much going on with it. See if we can get it up to maybe 500 or so. ACO, a Clockwork Orange is the next one, and this one has had an impressive run up. Actually, let's measure that real quick. It's not measuring it for me. Let's just take this and read it. It's up about 2,000%, it looks like. So 2,000% since launch. Not bad. Pretty good. That's like what, a 20x? So that's decent. You got some trades going through, not much. It's $1.8 thousand worth of liquidity, $714 worth of volume. Of course, though, its main pairing is to HOA. It's got $4,700 worth of HOA bonded to it. Will that affect the price more? Yeah, because it's mostly bonded to HOA. If HOA goes up, this should go up with it. And then you have, for holders, 306. Let's see if we can get 500 holders for this one. I like the name, by the way. It's one of my favorite movies. Next, we have OMG, Orange Man Good. Not, oh my god, Orange Man Good. Orange Man Very Good. Okay? Orange Man Good. It's had an impressive run-up since its launch. It got up as high as 2,000%, and it's sitting at about 1,000% gain for most people. So you're sitting at about a 10 to 20x for this one. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's got $11,000 worth of liquidity, $3,300 worth of volume. I mean, shit. If you wanted to throw in, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks into this and see if you could make it into, 600, 500 bucks, sure, why not? Like, fuck it. Go for it. Now, OMG has some really weird stuff bonded to it. It's got this thing called Boeing, which I think I've seen that on Twitter. I'm not sure if that's a Tangang token or not, but I have seen it. It's paired to Pi, which again is another thing I've seen on Twitter. I don't know if that's part of the Tangang or not, but I have seen it. You have OMG to pulsechain, which is that the Peter Parker Bush did 9/11 Kirby Pepe token, and that's another one that I'm gonna cover. You got bondage to HOA. You got bondage to all kinds of shit. You got a pair with dick with butt. You got another pair with dick with butt. Why not pair these two? I think these are like V1 or 1% and 2% fees. So why not just have everyone go over to the 2% fee and then have everybody in the same thing, and then this would be the largest liquidity pool. And then you're basically like mostly tied to dick with butt. And then if dick with butt goes up, you guys go up, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But other than that, the LP it's really crazy for this one, and it's all over the board. So I don't know what to think of this one. It's interesting, but I don't know. I would love to see it really heavily paired to dick with butt, because dick with butt is my favorite. And holders for Orange Man Good, aka OMG, 746. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see if you guys can get to 1,000. And last, but certainly not least, I like to call this my second favorite, because I just love the fucking name. I think the name is fucking hilarious. Plus it tricks people into thinking that they're buying pulsechain, but they're not, because they don't look at the ticker. And that is Peter Parker Bush did 9/11 Kirby Pepe, aka ticker for that is pulsechain. I bought this in my Durkee show, which by the way is coming out tomorrow. So this is its main LP to Pulse. It's $24,000 worth of Pulse, $11,000 worth of volume. You've got some trading action going through it. And, the chart is just kind of... There was another pair that I normally look at, but this is your largest pair to Rapid Pulse, technically. Now, what's interesting about this token is, yes, it is tied to HOA. It's just not heavily tied to it or anything like that, but it's mostly tied to Rapid Pulse. And then it has this other coin, which I'm not covering, but I've seen it on Twitter, S&P 500, which is the Strawberry and Pineapple Index Fund. I'm pretty sure it's a new Tangang token. Again, it's one of those things, I don't know enough about it before I cover it. And to be honest, I don't know enough about most of these tokens to cover it. I just know that they were on the spreadsheet, so that's why I'm talking about them. Anyway, the S&P 500, you got about $12,000 worth of liquidity to that, and then another $4,900 worth of liquidity here, so you got two pairs on V3. You got some liquidity tied to Spooky, some liquidity tied to Pool, OMG. You got $5,400 worth of OMG bonded to it. Start providing liquidity for this one. Start providing liquidity. Increase this HOA pair. Increase your dick with butt pair. Do something. Do something to pair it more to the HOA system. or to the whole Tang Gang network as a whole. And then I'm actually interested now. You've piqued my interest. I want to see what you guys do with this S&P 500 pair. I will be looking more into this. I will. I promise. Just maybe not immediately. Holders for Pulsechain or Peter Parker Bush did 911 Kirby Pepe, 949. You guys will probably hit 1,000 holders here pretty quick. Like, we could hit it tomorrow. We could hit it in a day or two. We're getting there. We're getting there. And I'll shout it out if I see it. Anyway, guys, holy shit, that was a lot of fucking tokens that I just covered. Now, obviously, I don't think that's all of them. I didn't look at the updated one. I just looked at the one that was posted on Twitter as recently as I had seen it, and I just covered what was on it. So if there are more, I'm sorry that I didn't cover you guys. I'll maybe cover you guys in a future video, but for now, that's all I'm covering. If you guys like this kind of content, like, comment, share, subscribe, everything down below. Make sure you're subscribing. Share me on Twitter. Share me on social media. Show me you want this fucking content. Show me that you want it, and I'll keep giving it to you. And as always, guys, none of this is financial advice. Do your own fucking research, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.